Imagine it's 1943. The skies over Europe are filled with propeller planes, tracer bullets, and flak explosions. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a B-2 Spirit stealth bomber appears. Sleek, silent, deadly. The Germans look up and go, "Was this das?" What happens next? Could one modern bomber actually change the course of World War II? Let's find out. Alright, so here's our setup. We're dropping a modern stealth bomber, like the B-2 or B-21 Raider, right into the middle of World War II. It's 1943. No GPS satellites, no modern air bases, no computers, just radar screens the size of dinner tables and radio operators yelling into static. The B-2 is one of the most advanced aircraft ever built. It can fly over 6,000 miles without refueling, carry 40,000 pounds of bombs, and, most importantly, it's invisible to radar. In 1943, radar was cutting-edge but pretty primitive. The Allies and Axis used it mostly to detect big, slow bomber formations. The B-2? It's made to look like a bird on radar, if it shows up at all. So, what happens when you unleash this ghost plane into that war? First, let's talk shock factor. Imagine the first mission. The B-2 takes off, somehow fueled and loaded with modern JDAM bombs, and heads toward Berlin. German radar operators see nothing. Anti-aircraft gunners stare at the night sky. Then, without warning, boom. Precision strikes hit factories, command centers, bridges. The city's power grid goes down before anyone even hears an engine. The Germans would probably think it's some kind of alien attack. But there's a catch. The B-2 relies on modern jet fuel, JP-8, complex maintenance, and computers from the future. None of that exists in the 1940s. One flat tire or fried circuit, and you're grounded for weeks. And good luck explaining to 1940s mechanics how to reboot a stealth system. Still, let's say you somehow keep it running. Even then, the B-2's precision-guided bombs need GPS or laser targeting. No satellites in 1943 means no GPS. So you'd either have to retrofit old-school dumb bombs, or manually aim them with visuals, which kind of defeats the whole 21st century superweapon vibe. Now, let's compare speeds. World War II bombers like the B-17 Flying Fortress topped out around 300 miles per hour. The B-2 flies at roughly 600 miles per hour, double that. It also flies much higher, about 50,000 feet, while World War II fighters barely reach 30,000. That means even the fastest German interceptors, like the Messerschmitt Me-262 jet, could barely reach it, and only for a short burst. And remember, they'd have no radar lock, no heat-seeking missiles, no guided weapons. Just machine guns. Against a plane they can't even see. That's not a dogfight. That's target practice, for the bomber. So, if it actually worked, if fuel, maintenance, and targeting weren't issues, the B-2 would be unstoppable. It could destroy critical targets like oil refineries, weapon factories, or entire fleets without warning. In theory, just one bomber could cripple an enemy's war effort. But here's the twist. That doesn't mean it would win the war overnight. Why? Because wars aren't just about technology, they're about logistics and production. One bomber, even a futuristic one, can't replace the thousands of planes, pilots, and crews that fought every day. It could cause chaos and confusion, sure, but eventually it would run out of bombs, fuel, and spare parts. Once it's grounded, it's just a shiny museum piece. So, what if a modern bomber fought in World War II? In short, it would start like a sci-fi movie and end like a maintenance nightmare. For a few glorious days, it'd be the most powerful machine on Earth, rewriting the rules of air combat. But once reality catches up, limited fuel, no GPS, no mechanics, it becomes a stranded relic. It's a perfect reminder that technology isn't just about what's possible, it's about what's supportable. Even the most advanced weapon in history needs an entire world behind it to truly matter. So what do you think? Would the B-2 bomber have turned the tide of the war, or just freaked out some German scientists for a week? Drop your theory in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the trip through time, and don't forget to subscribe for more wild science what ifs. Until next time, keep wondering and keep asking, what if?